Hello and welcome to Story Dude, the hottest channel on YouTube, where a team of expert story pickers have scoured Reddit and found the best stories for you.
One night stand with soon-to-be ex-husband. Hello. I'm feeling so frisky that it's actually painful, to the point where I'm thinking of asking my husband to get down and dirty one last time before the divorce. We're Muslims, so, no marriage, no sex for either of us. We're getting a divorce because he's a narcissist and I can't deal with him anymore. Do you think it's a bad idea? Would it mess everything up? Bad idea. 1 being emotional attachments on your end. 2 being pregnancy and entrapment. Depends on where you live. The courts can consider that reconciliation and have you start the process all over again if you want a divorce. Guy here, I've been there. Don't do it. It can confuse things. You can get pregnant. He could be sleeping around and give you an STI you could never get rid of. Not worth it. Girl, just get a vibrator and take care of this issue yourself. You probably do a better job than him anyway. It might or it might not, I don't know. But I'd like to give you something to think about. Having had more experience dealing with narcissists than I'd prefer, I look at this from a different angle. While you view this as little more than scratching an itch, his view is likely to be very different. He might view this as you, coming to her senses, or, not being able to live without me, or any number of other things. How might his behavior change as a result? My boyfriend doesn't let me wear anything. I can't wear anything without it starting an argument between us. I'm a female with unfortunately big boobs, so it's already hard enough to find tops that fit my chest properly, but it seems like no matter what I do it's not good enough for him. I try to buy clothes that completely cover my chest and he still freaks out saying, "My boobs are still popping out." And then he does this thing where he guilt trips himself saying it's his fault he went for a girl with a body like mine. He can't handle it. I really don't know what to do anymore. I try so hard to hide myself but he always finds a way to say my ass is showing or I have too much cleavage. I've always blamed myself but now at this point I feel like it's over the fucking top and it's controlling and I can't do anything to make him happy. Why are you with him, when he is putting you down? There is no excuse for what he is doing. Don't let him ruin your self-esteem. It's not your responsibility to make him happy by effectively covering yourself up. I advise you to take a step back and look at what you are describing here. Controlling behavior. Then look if he does that with other topics too and ask yourself if you really want to be in a relationship where he wants you to feel guilty for how you look. If you can't handle it, then you need to leave. Update. I, 23F. Have a crush on a guy, 22 male, all his friends know, but somehow he doesn't? Update y'all. A lot of you suggested a straightforward approach, for the guy that has executive dysfunction, maybe in the spectrum, and everyone knows I like him. And whilst I had a fun visit to the state fair planned, things were kind of quiet between us. He wasn't replying much so I just asked if he wanted to eat. We hugged a couple times and left and I forgot to ask him the important stuff. I text him about relationship stuff, ask his relationship status, and then ask him out. I tell him I like him. The whole 9 yards. He turned me down. Rather quickly and politely. I didn't inquire why but he said he hopes to talk tomorrow and be friends. I really did feel like if he liked me I would have known. He's not socially inept, he's smart and perceptive of things like these. Asked if he knew I liked him, he said he thought it could happen. Someone not ever asking to hang out can definitely be a sign. But I mean I don't regret it. Better sooner than later. I wish he saw the better side of me though. I had a crush on him day one, and that makes it hard to project your best. But yeah, I'll probably try to get him off my mind, and I actually think we can be friends. I was crushing hard but it's okay. Live and learn. Edit. Guys, he told me it was so obvious he had his rejection statement prepared because he really wanted to make sure we stayed friends, almost doubted himself because I took so long. Who told me he probably just didn't know loudly crying. Double edit. Thank you all for so much positivity. I didn't expect to get this many replies on an unsuccessful update. I guess we've all been through similar situations, thanks Reddit. I feel a lot better. Good for you. It takes courage to try, and you have the perspective you need to get past the pain of rejection. Love to see it. Not the result, but the confidence to speak frankly. Takes serious courage to do this. I love seeing people advocate for themselves and go after what they want. Chin up dater. You're killing it. Good for you for trying. Too often we sit around waiting for the guy to make the first move. Some guys are either shy or have no dating experience. We won't make a connection with everyone, but nits W you can move on. Proud of you. Good for you. Now you know. Onwards and upwards. My boss polices me outside of work, tries to expose me to my family. I'm not sure where to post this. Sorry it's long, too long, did not read. At bottom. Background. I am a 24F, my boss is a 50s M. We work in construction on, there are others that act similarly, but my boss, DL, as I'll refer to him, is the worst offender. My boss makes comments about my life outside of work. Mind you, it does not interfere with my work. He has said as much, and it is nothing I'm remotely ashamed of. I've worked in construction for years and I'm used to it, to the jabs and insults at this point. The issue is DL knows my dad and had a long conversation with him divulging all of this information. I'm an adult and entirely financially independent and live on my own. I told my dad about some of this stuff. My dad didn't really care. To list a few outside of work complaints. The way I park, he expects me to back in and takes pictures and lectures me the next day. I drink and played cards with coworkers some Saturday nights. I drank wine, didn't get drunk, didn't go home with anyone, wasn't late for work, and didn't drive. I dated a guy for 2 months, 1 month, and he started spending the night. Was told I need to raise my standards, they never met. There are more, including my eating and gym habits, but those are some of the main ones. I'm upset because I'm practically DL's assistant, we work very closely together. I considered he a friend. He told my dad all of that, trying to make him disappointed in me. After everything was said and done and we were alone in the office. He said 3 times in a row until I reacted, "Your dad was so disappointed in you." I made sure he didn't see, but I went to my car and cried. I want to confronting him today. I'm going to be calm and professional. I'll just state that I'm an independent adult. My work performance is the only thing that should concern him, and he acted extremely inappropriately. I don't think going to HR would help me. Hopefully this will settle my issue. Thanks for reading. Too long, did not read. My boss monitors me outside of work and reports to my dad, who doesn't care. Said to me 3 times in a row until I reacted, "Your dad is so disappointed in you." I'm confronting him today, wish me luck. Edit for commonly asked questions. I'm trying not to be too specific. We travel for work and I ended up staying at the same facility as DL. I have a month left, but then I'm moving. He knows about my overnight visits because he saw a car parked there and questioned me. We work closely for 10-hour shifts. I don't have to divulge personal information. He sees me most of the day. DL has a daughter, so some speculating that he might be projecting that on me might be onto something. I don't think he's trying to sleep with me. He just wants to hurt my feelings and watch. I talked to my dad about it last night. He said he wasn't disappointed. When I pointed out how DL said and did those things maliciously, he said I work with mean people who happen to really like me. He seems to think DL is looking out for me in some way. I still haven't built up the courage to confront him. Does your dad know the extent that this older guy is creeping on you? He's keeping track of your romantic life. That's way creepy. I would hope my dad would tell him to back off because he's a creeper. Start looking for another job. He views you as a child, his child maybe? He isn't going to take kindly to you telling him what you want to tell him. He isn't treating you professionally. Set your boundaries, but get another job. This is completely inappropriate. He walks all over you and you have no boundaries. You cannot keep working there.